So we're in day 5 here on board Symphony of the Seas, and we're about to have an interview with the CT Mike Szwajkowski. So here we go.
Great. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to Office Central.
Yes.
Well, I've seen you guys have done a lot of stuff, huh?
Oh yeah.
Like you did one for Disney, I saw.
Yeah.
Where you went to Disney.
Disney went to Disney World. Went to all of them, and we went to. We also went to on Harmony of the Seas, Anthem of the Seas. We've done some NCO. That's the evil.
Well, I started with NCO.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start from now. So,
okay.
What ships have you worked on?
Okay, so I started with another cruise line in 2001 as a DJ. Obviously,
nice.
where you saw. I worked in radio back home in Toronto, and so I went from there and I worked my way up to cruise director. So in 2005, I was the youngest permanent cruise director in the cruise industry.
Wow.
I was like 26 years old. So I mean, I'm only 13 now, but
yeah, that's right. You're only 13.
But in 2007, I came over to Royal Caribbean. So I did Sovereign of the Seas for about 3 weeks.
Wow.
And then they sent me over to Adventure of the Seas out of Puerto Rico. I did that which is great because I'm Canadian. I speak English and a little bit of French and no Spanish. But now I understand more Spanish than I understand French. Yeah. Like if I went into a restaurant and I opened up the menu and it was just in Spanish, I could order, no problem. If I opened it up and it was all in French, I'd be like,
oh no.
Yeah, but it's okay. So I did Adventure, then I did Voyager, then I did Liberty, Serenade. In 2011, I did Oasis. So that was when Oasis was, yeah, well, it was about a year. It was about a year old. Lure was just coming out, and so so I did that. And then in 2011, I got word that my grandmother was ill, and she raised me. So I left the cruise industry. I went home, became a police officer back home in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Tall police officer like
Yeah. A lot of people think we ride the horses, right? But we don't. We ride moose, and we check the igloos.
You really?
No.
He always does that. I always fall for it. Always. Just never fails.
In 2017, I came back to Royal Caribbean, and I've been on. Last year, I was on Brilliance and Grandeur. And at the end of last year, for the first time ever, a cruise director won Leader of the Year, and I won that on the Grandeur. And then I've been here. So.
Wow! And which NCO ships were you on?
Oh, I don't know. They all sunk. No. I did 3 takeouts. I did the Star.
Okay.
I did the Dawn. I did the Jewel. So I brought out all 3 of those ships in 3 different roles.
Okay.
One as a DJ. One is a crew staff, and one is an assistant cruise director.
Okay.
But my very first NCL ship was the legendary SS Norway, or the old SS France.
Wow, that's really...
And the most famous passenger to ever sail on that ship was the Mona Lisa when they brought it over from France.
Really?
It was an actual old ocean liner.
Wow.
Yeah. But, comparing... That would be like one of our lifeboats here. Like here, this ship is, as you know, I mean, you've been on Harmony and you've been here.
And on the Lord 3 times. We did it back to back on Lord, and when again we loved it so much.
Cruising has come so far. It really has. It's now the ship where the ship has become a destination for people. You know what I mean?
The ship itself is the
basically that's us. The ship is the destination.
Yeah, you guys are everywhere. Like I mean, not if I don't see you at the actual events, I see you posting. So I mean, but I've seen you pretty much everywhere. Yeah. You know,
we try to be all over the place. We want to just like experience the entire thing, just experience everything the ship has to offer. Because that's what it's.
When are you gonna rest?
We rested last night. Okay. Last night for the first time we actually rested. That's why we missed the 80s party.
Oh, okay. All right. There was a very good crowd last night.
You know, saw that.
It's sometimes because we have multiple shows going on. We had Hero going on. But we have 6,700 people on the ship. So we have to offer multiple things in multiple venues to spread everybody out.
What's the craziest weather you've ever encountered on a ship?
That's easy.
Okay.
We were going back, this is years and years and years ago. It was actually with a different line, but anytime you sail around Cape Hatteras in the Carolinas, it can always, just because the Gulf Stream there, it can always be hit or miss weather-wise. So when I was on the Grandeur out of Baltimore, we would come out of Chesapeake Bay, and then we would go south and we go by Cape Hatteras, and that was always where we'd get a little bit of motion in the ocean. That's just that part of the world. But one time we were heading back up, and this is an honest to goodness true story. We were heading back up to go film an episode of The Apprentice with now President Donald Trump.
Stop!
Yeah.
That was my favorite show. We watched that show religiously.
So we were going to back up to, because we were sailing out of New York City, and we were going up to tape an episode of The Apprentice, and we had 28-foot swells. So you can imagine it's 28 foot. So they say it's 28 foot. So you're going, and then you're going up, you're going down, and the bridge officer, who was a buddy of mine, he said to me, he goes, Mike, we started going down, and the next wave started coming up. He goes, I ducked under the console because, that one wave ended up doing a little bit of damage to the ship, and we went into the Carolinas, and we docked up alongside. We did the repairs, and we continued back up to New York the next day, and the next day was the calmest day at sea that I've ever seen. Anyway,
the calm after the storm.
literally, it was like glass. You could look out there, and you were like, wow. So,
what is the craziest request you received from a guest? Like the craziest, most wildest, insane thing you've ever been asked to do?
No, that's a good question, because we get asked a lot of things. Somebody asked, can the cruise director marry somebody? I'm like, no, right? You know what I mean? Like, can you marry somebody? A lot of times it comes with a charter.
Okay, with charter guests.
With charters. So charters, when a group charters a ship, they essentially get to create their own program and do whatever. And a lot of times they ask for very unique things. We were asked to organize a dodgeball game between crew. I was asked once to dress up in drag because it was the type of charter cruise. I see
pictures of that, like ASAP. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but for me, it's like everything's always in good fun. Everything's in good fun.
It's fun. How do you spend your free time? Do you have any free time? Because you're always busy. You have that phone on you 24/7.
Yeah, it's the business has changed a little bit in the roles of a cruise director. On a smaller ship, you're kind of the bells and whistles of the ship. On this ship, the shows are like so over the top spectacular. It's very difficult to hold anything to those shows. And as such, I have 230 people on my team on the ship. So it is a constant scheduling and HR kind of role, and making sure that the shows are looking good, sounding good, exceeding every guest's expectations. So if I'm not in the office doing the preparation for future cruises, I'm out making sure the shows are how they're supposed to be running. I do normally get about 1 hour in the afternoon.
1 hour?
Which I go and do a little bit of a gym workout. DJ Tony joins me normally.
Yeah, I know. He was with us on Army. I love him.
And so
he's buff.
Yeah, he's a big guy. But no, when we're on board, my job is my job. I focus. The downtime is, like yesterday, we were in Costa. The day before, we were in Roatan. I took all my senior managers, and we went for a team building lunch.
Nice.
So if we do get a little bit of time, we try and do like team building events and just have that real social aspect, because when you're on a ship, you're working together, you're eating together, you're living together for 4, 6, 8 months at a time, and you become like family. Honest to goodness. When I remember when I got married, 3 of the guys who were my groomsmen were cruise directors.
Wow.
Yeah. And then half of the people who were there were people from cruise ships. So
that's your family.
It becomes your family. It truly does. It truly does.
That's amazing. Yeah. So, I guess that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
That was easy.
Did you answer everything? Szwajkowski. And if you think it's from the movie Monsters Inc., let's show them. What do you have over there?
Oh, I got. Just have to laugh. Yeah, gotta make them laugh. There we go.
Make them laugh. It's day 5 here on board Symphony of the Seas, and we're in Cozumel, Mexico. And we just finished interviewing Cruise Director Mike Szwajkowski. It's about 10:30 in the morning. We don't have anything planned here for today in Cozumel, and check out some other suggestions in the area from the cruise staff we're going to check out today. So let's go. See you in a bit.